Hello, dear audience. I wish you a peaceful day filled with positive energy. Today, we will step into a love story full of emotions where every detail carries unexpected twists. Have you ever wondered what was the real reason behind Tuna's rejection of Alex's proposal? Was it just a fleeting hesitation? Or was it a deep, unspoken fear that she has yet to share with anyone? This is a question that keeps the viewers' hearts racing, because the answer could change the entire course of their relationship. And what about Alex? After such a shock, will he continue to persevere using his genuine love to reach Tuna's heart? Or will he give up, leaving everything to fate and walking away from the woman he cherishes? This isn't just a story about rejection. It's a great test of faith and courage for a man when standing before the love of his life. So don't take your eyes off the screen, because right after this, we will explore the dramatic yet sweet journey of love between CEO Alex, a successful man yet simple and sincere, and Tuna, a strong, resilient single mother who deep inside still longs for a true home. A peaceful morning at the farm. The first rays of sunlight gently slipped through the green foliage, spreading across the small courtyard, where Tuna was diligently sweeping every corner. The fresh air carried the subtle fragrance of grass and flowers. In the distance, a few dewdrops still clung to tender leaves, sparkling like pearls under the morning light. Up in the sky, little birds chirped joyfully, their songs like a melody welcoming a new day filled with energy. Inside the small room, the baby was still sound asleep. The steady rhythm of the child's breathing, the innocent and peaceful face filled Tuna's heart with warmth. Watching her child sleep, she smiled softly, then returned to her daily chores. Arranging each flower pot, each chair on the porch, Tuna felt a sense of lightness in her soul. After finishing her chores, she sat down at the familiar bamboo table in the garden's corner. This was where Tuna often enjoyed a cup of tea while gazing at the peaceful scenery of the farm. The morning breeze blew gently, carrying with it the mild fragrance of the countryside. Suddenly, she thought of Grandma Tang, the elderly neighbor who always cared for and loved both mother and child. A flicker of worry appeared on Tuna's face. Was her leg still hurting as much as the other day? With that thought, Tuna quickly decided once the baby woke up, she would carry her child over to visit Grandma Tang. At the same time, she planned to ask the old woman to watch the baby for a while, so she could take advantage of the morning to harvest fruits in the garden, bring them to the market, and then return to pick up her child afterward. A little later, as the sun rose higher, the baby woke up. Tuna carefully prepared, packing a few tiny clothes, a soft towel, and some baby food. She carried her child in her arms, softly humming a gentle lullaby as she slowly walked along the path leading to Grandma Tang's house. That path was lined with wildflowers on both sides, with a few golden butterflies fluttering around, making the scenery even more vivid. With each step, Tuna felt her heart grow lighter, as though all her worries had melted away. When she reached the familiar red-tiled house, she called out, "Grandma Tang, are you home?" From inside came the sound of footsteps. The wooden door creaked open, and Grandma Tang appeared. Her lips curved into a kind smile. Seeing Tuna with the baby in her arms, her eyes lit up with joy. "Oh, Tuna," You came to visit me so early today. Tu Na smiled and stepped inside with the baby. She gently asked after Grandma Tang's health, especially her leg that had been aching before. Grandma Tang replied cheerfully, "Thank you, dear. These past few days, it feels much better. Walking around is much easier now." Hearing that, Tuna felt relieved. The two sat and chatted for a long while. During their conversation, the baby lay cozily in Grandma Tang's arms, occasionally smiling, making the atmosphere even warmer. Tuna then hesitated before asking Grandma, "Today I plan to harvest some fruits from the garden to sell at the market. Could you please look after the baby for a while?" Grandma Tang smiled and nodded. "Don't worry. Just leave the little one with me. Go to the market and come back later. I'll watch over the child." Relieved by her agreement, Tuna left her baby with Grandma Tang and quickly grabbed her basket to head back to the garden. The dragon fruit orchard was in full harvest season. The bright pink-red fruits stood out vividly against the lush green leaves. She carefully picked each one and placed it in the basket, the fresh scent filling the air. Before long, Tuna's basket was brimming. Wiping the sweat from her forehead, she balanced the heavy basket on her shoulder, ready to take it to the market. The morning market was bustling with life. The lively sounds of buyers and sellers mingled with the fragrance of fresh produce, painting a vibrant picture of the countryside. Tuna laid out her basket of dragon fruit in a corner of the market. The ripe crimson fruits, fresh and inviting, immediately caught people's attention. Before long, customers gathered around, eagerly asking to buy. With her grace and sincerity, Tuna managed to sell the entire basket in no time. Joy shone clearly on her face. Having sold everything and earned some money to support her life, Tuna felt more reassured. She quickly packed up and hurried back to Grandma Tang's house to pick up her child. By the time she arrived, the sun was already dipping behind the mountains. The golden rays of late afternoon bathed the surroundings in a serene glow. On the porch, a scene made Tuna's heart swell with emotion. Grandma Tang sat in her old bamboo chair, cradling the baby in her arms. The child giggled happily, while the old woman gently soothed her, her face radiating kindness and warmth. Tuna stepped closer. Seeing her, Grandma Tang's eyes lit up. "Oh, Tuna, you're back. Did you sell your fruit well today?" Tuna set down her basket and replied cheerfully, "Yes." Thankfully, the fruits were beautiful, so they sold very quickly. I also felt at ease leaving the baby with you. The two women sat together on the porch, chatting as the evening breeze carried the sweet fragrance of grapefruit and areca blossoms from the garden. The chirping of crickets rose in the distance, heralding the coming of a peaceful night. They spoke of the harvest of daily life and of their simple hopes for the future. After a while, as the sky grew darker, Tuna stood up to take her leave. She picked up the baby, bowed slightly, and said, "Tomorrow, I'll bring the baby over again to spend time with you. For now, I'll head home before it gets too late." Grandma Tang nodded and gently reminded, "All right. Take care on your way. Come visit me again soon." Smiling, Tuna carried her child home under the glow of the setting sun. The silhouettes of mother and child slowly disappeared behind the village bamboo groves. Only then did Grandma Tang step back into her house, her heart lingering with a simple yet profound happiness. When Tuna returned to the farm, darkness had already begun to blanket the land. The thin crescent moon shimmered faintly in the sky, casting its glow on the uneven dirt path. In her arms, the baby remained fast asleep, breathing softly, with a small face as serene as an angel. That image made all the day's fatigue melt away. She gently pushed the wooden door open, and a creaking sound echoed in the quiet of the night. Then she flicked on the light switch. A soft, golden glow spread across the tidy yet simple home. Tuna carefully laid the baby down on the familiar wooden bed, pulled a thin blanket over the child, and gazed lovingly at the little one for a long moment before finally stepping out into the kitchen. In the kitchen, she began preparing dinner. The sound of the knife chopping, the soft sizzle of oil in the small pan, and the aroma of food soon filled the entire house. These were the simple, familiar sounds of rural life, but to Tuna, they were a comfort, a source of strength that kept her going every single day. Yet while she was still busy at work, a familiar voice suddenly spoke from behind Tuna. Startled, she turned around. Her eyes widened in surprise. Standing there was none other than Alex. In his hands, he held a bouquet of fresh crimson roses, radiant as though they had just been picked from the garden. The warm light of the house shone on his face, serious yet filled with tension. Both of them fell silent. Their eyes met briefly, only to quickly look away. The atmosphere instantly grew heavy, and the ticking of the clock seemed to emphasize the silence. Tuna was the first to speak, her voice trembling slightly, though she tried to stay calm. "Alex, please, sit down. I'll make you some tea." She invited him to the bamboo table in the living room. Alex sat down, his hands gripping the bouquet tightly, his expression troubled. When Tuna placed a steaming cup of tea in front of him, Alex gathered his courage and spoke in a halting voice. "Tuna, there are things I've kept inside me for so long. Today, I can't hide them anymore. I need to tell you everything." He held out the bouquet to her. Tuna hesitated for a moment. Before taking it, her eyes showing a trace of shyness, she softly asked, "What's the occasion today that you've brought me flowers?" Alex looked at her, his voice warm yet resolute. "Today is the day I've decided to bare my heart to you." With those words, Alex slowly stood up. From his jacket pocket, he took out a small red velvet box. Opening it, a sparkling ring gleamed under the golden glow of the room. The light reflected off its surface, creating a breathtakingly romantic scene. Tuna froze. She hadn't expected this moment to come so quickly. Alex gazed straight into her eyes, his voice trembling with emotion. "Tuna, from the day I met you, from the moment I came to know you and your child, I realized that my life would never be the same again. I want to protect you, to raise the child with you, to build a home together. Will you give me that chance?" His confession rang out sincere and heartfelt. In his eyes there was no hesitation, only love and determination. Alex stepped closer, ready to slip the ring onto Tuna's finger. But at that very moment, she suddenly pulled her hand back. The room fell into silence. Alex froze, a flicker of pain in his eyes. "Tuna," her voice choked with emotion, whispered, "Alex, I'm sorry, but I'm not ready." The bouquet of roses trembled slightly in her hands as she lowered her head, memories of past wounds flooding back. The scars left by her former marriage still weighed heavily on her heart, preventing her from embracing new love, even though deep down she knew Alex's feelings were genuine. Alex said nothing. He did not blame her, nor did he try to force her. His eyes remained gentle, silently conveying a promise I will wait no matter how long it takes. After Alex left the house, returned to its stillness. Tuna sat quietly for hours, her eyes fixed on the ring that still lay on the table. Within her, conflicting emotions raged. On one side, the painful past she had yet to let go of. On the other, the sincere love that was slowly warming her heart. Finally, she resolved tomorrow she would go see Grandma Tang. For only Grandma Tang, a kind, wise, and experienced woman, could give her the guidance she needed. To Tuna, she was more than just a neighbor. She was the closest thing to family left in her life. But the question remains, after hearing Grandma Tang's advice, will Tuna find the courage to let go of her past and open her heart to Alex's love and proposal? Or will she continue down the solitary path, choosing to remain a single mother, devoted only to her child? The answer is yet to be revealed. And you, dear viewers, will discover it with us in the next episode. So don't forget to hit subscribe so you won't miss the deeply emotional twists and tender moments in this love story, full of trials yet overflowing with sweetness, between CEO Alex and the single mother Tuna.
Khi Tuna trở về trang trại, một bóng tối bắt đầu bao trùm khắp không gian. Ánh trăng non le lói trên bầu trời soi xuống con đường đá gập ghềnh. Trên tay Tuna, em bé vẫn đang ngủ say. Hơi thở dần đều đặn và gương mặt nhỏ nhắn bình yên như thiên thần. Hình ảnh ấy khiến bao mệt nhọc trong ngày dài như tan biến. Cô khẽ đẩy đến cửa gỗ, một âm thanh kéo kẹt vang lên trong màn đêm tĩnh lặng. Sau đó cô bật công tắc điện, ánh sáng vàng dịu hắt ra, soi dọi căn phòng gọn gàng như đơn sơ. Tuna nhẹ nhàng đặt em bé xuống chiếc giường gỗ quen thuộc, kéo tấm chăn mỏng đắp lên người con, ánh mắt trìu mến nhìn đứa trẻ thêm một lúc lâu mới yên tâm bước ra gian bếp. Trong bếp, cô bắt đầu chuẩn bị bữa tối. Tiếng dao thớt lách cách, tiếng dầu sôi tí tách trong chiếc chảo nhỏ. Hương thơm của món lan tỏa khắp gian nhà. Đó là những âm thanh giản dị quen thuộc của cuộc sống nơi thôn quê. Nhưng với Tuna, đó chính là niềm an ủi, là động lực để cô tiếp tục cố gắng mỗi ngày. Thế nhưng khi cô còn đang cặm cụi, bất ngờ một giọng nói quen thuộc vang lên phía sau lưng. Cô giật mình quay lại, đôi mắt mở to và chấp nhận rõ bất ngờ. Người đến đó không ai khác, đó chính là Alex.